All right, guys, so I want to talk about a debate that was going on the radio today. One thing I really, really detest in life is radio DJs. Because everyone thinks they're a comedian and everyone thinks that their opinion's more important than somebody else. Anyway, they were wanting to do this debate today about how prisoners, I forget what state it was in, but prisoners make 15 cents an hour if they choose to work in the prison, and in Pennsylvania they make 19 cents an hour if they choose to work. And they were acting like, oh, this is so terrible, and how could this be, and this isn't right, and and all this stuff. And the way you have to look at it, though, I wish I could have called into that radio station, because what I would have told them was this: if you take the housing of the prisoner, the rooming and board, the food, the medical costs, everything else that they get when they're in prison that is free, provided by the government, if you took what amount that would be per year, it would be tens of thousands of dollars. This is why they don't take a prisoner that you're giving everything to for free and pay them $20 an hour to work making license plates or whatever they do, work in the laundry, work in the kitchen. These prisoners work because it gives them something to do during the day. Don't forget, they committed a crime that got them in the place that they are. But that's why that they'll give them 15 cents an hour. It's not that it should be that shocking to you when you realize that the clothing they get, the soap, the shampoo, the facilities they use, the water, the room they stay in, the food they eat, everything they do in prison is provided by the government. So how much would that cost a year? How much would that pay be? How much would that be in monetary value a year to the prisoner? It'd be tens of thousands, I guarantee it. Probably at least $30,000 a year, at least. So they're getting more than what you think if you look at it that way. Now, I'm not for saying that prisoners should live in deplorable conditions or be tortured or anything like that. I don't feel that whatsoever. I feel that if a guy's in jail, that he should do his time, and when he's done with his time, he should try to stay clean in jail, and when he's done with his time, that he should be able to be out. As a matter of fact, I'll even go a step further. I think there are certain felonies that still should be able to allow a person to get their firearm rights back once they get out of prison for it. Let's say like an embezzlement felony. Something non-violent, non-drug related. If you're in prison for something such as that nature, nothing like domestic or a sexual offender, or if you were protecting drugs with guns, or if it was a violent act, if you beat somebody with a broom handle and you beat them half to death and you end up in prison, then you shouldn't. But if you've had no prior record of any violence, and you were clean in jail, and you were an upstanding prisoner that never got into a fight with anybody that was your fault, then I think that your rights should be restored on a firearm. I don't see why you couldn't have your rights restored on a firearm. Just my personal opinion. Some people's opinions are different.